Blizzard, I believe, has more revamps than any other map with a total of 3. It started off good, then became the worst map, then slightly recovered, then got another revamp for some reason. Blizzard was created by an ex-dev called this in 2017, I believe. I recall the original Blizzard being a decently popular map with plenty of servers playing it. It sorted out due to the Yeti, which is a giant NPC which you can summon on your side using eternal fires. The Ice Princess that could shoot magic missiles back when that was unique. And it was the only place to get ice handles, ice chisels, and ice gems, which were needed for frost armor. It also had, and still has, 2 exclusive badges. The map was consistently a very common choice due to uniqueness and that random map selection was selected a lot for some reason, but it slowly appeared more out of date over time where all other maps were getting revamps. Eventually, Blizzard was like the last map that needed a revamp, as all old maps got revamps, but despite this, Blizzard still performed very well, until the utter horror of the series of updates known as Dark First Light. Dark First Light is what killed Savannah, and after that, it went for Blizzard next. First, it introduced Underworld, which was extremely similar, had a similar layout, and the same gimmick of being able to summon a giant enemy, except the Underworld one was cooler and had a bunch of minions. After that, Blizzard was already being played less, but what happened next basically killed the map. In Dark First Light Part 3, Blizzard was revamped, but in a really terrible way. They saw the response to the Underground revamp and thought that is the way for revamps to go, but that was only received well because Underground was bad already. It did look much cooler, but was way too large. Blaze without an item that can fly would never reach the enemy, and even if you did have a flying tool, it would take like forever to get to enemy castle still. Over 90% of the space wasn't even used ever. There were never any NPCs or players there. After this, anytime the server chose Blizzard, everybody would just leave. Nobody liked this. In an old poll I did, Blizzard was voted to be the worst map by far during this period, and it was considered the second worst revamp ever after the first revamp of Savannah that was also done by Dark First Light. Luckily they saw this, and in 2023 Halloween Part 3 they revamped Blizzard again to be the original with updated terrain, which is honestly what revamps should be. I do believe that this is the best revamp out of them all, as it is closest to the original, but later glitches started appearing, such as the Eternal Fire being anchored or the floor failing to load. Furthermore, the player base for Blizzard hasn't recovered because of both the previous revamp and that Underworld has the same gimmick. Plus, a new map called Ragnarok, introduced in Dark First Light, had 2 NPCs stronger than the Yeti, which was the Yeti's whole thing. Then in 2023 Christmas event Part 2, they revamped Blizzard again for whatever reason. This is the current version and isn't played much. It is played more than the last 2 revamps and is considered better slightly, but this one has many problems itself, with one being so bad that not even any of the other revamps had them, which is that they shrunk the Yeti, which makes it stand out even less. Blizzard relied on the Yeti and Ice Gems, but the Yeti isn't special. Actually worse than what it used to be, and Ice Gems are easily obtainable through Christmas events, which makes them abundant, so you can just trade for them cheaply. It is believed that Blizzard had the largest fall from popularity, and it was mostly caused by Dark First Light. Dark First Light's only redeeming quality is Part 4, as the first 3 not only sucked but killed both Savannah and Blizzard. Blizzard is now mostly only played due to random map selection, or for those who want Ice Gems but missed the Christmas event and don't want to trade for it. It is an utter shame that the most unique map was made both terrible and no longer unique. I don't think I'll make another Rise and Fall in a while, as there aren't any other massive fails.